What's up, crypto family? I'm back with another update, but you guys want to stick around for the end of the video. Family, we are going to become very, very wealthy. Again, we are the new pioneers that are in this space in Dogelon, Mars. Again, billionaires will be rushing in. Millionaires will be rushing in. And the average Joe investors will be rushing in as well. Again, I am not a financial advisor, but I am telling you, we will see the light. Definitely. A lot of you guys will become wealthy. Again, stick around for the end of the video. Before I start, hit the like button, subscribe. Let's get this video out to the world because they need to hear this. BlackRock looks to offer crypto services as client demand rises. Again, BlackRock is a major institution firm. Okay, a lot of millionaires and billionaires deal with them with their investments. Again, they are ready to buy up these digital currencies. Again, these prices, as you see, the prices that you seen last month, they will not be the same. We are now experiencing a critical moment of this year, of this century, of this decade, family. Plenty of decades when we have a currency change. When we convert into another currency, it only happens, over like a couple decades. But you have to understand, cryptocurrency is where it's at. It is the new financial asset class. Okay, so what they say is the Russia-Ukraine conflict will push countries to reassess its currency dependencies, Fink said in a letter to the shareholders. So I'm going to read this out to you guys so you guys can understand. Larry Fink, the CEO of BlackRock, has confirmed that the world's largest asset manager is exploring how to serve clients with digital currencies. Okay? Fink cited increasing interest from clients around digital currencies in a letter to shareholders Thursdays. Okay? Fink's comments are at sharp odds with his previous assessment of client interest in crypto. In July of last year, Fink said in an interview that he is not seeing much demand for digital assets. His comments seemingly confirm a CoinDesk report from last month that the $10 trillion asset manager is planning to offer crypto trading services to its investor clients, family. And again, with this whole war in Russia and Ukraine, prayers out to them. But this is going to change the whole world with the financial system. Okay? All right. Fink also wrote that Russia-Ukraine conflict will push countries to reassess currency dependencies and look to means of payments that can bring down the cost of cross-border transactions. A global digital payment system thoughtfully designed can enhance the settlement of international transactions while reducing the risk of money laundering and corruption, he wrote. Digital currencies can also bring down costs of cross-border payments. For example, when expatriate workers send earnings back to their families, he added. Again, family, I'm telling you guys right now, yeah, you guys see the market going up. These prices aren't nothing. Bitcoin going to $100,000 isn't nothing. We will expect a $12.5 million Bitcoin by the end of 2032. Hey, I'm not a financial advisor, but this is where things are going. Again, family, if you're just investing into cryptocurrency and not researching, you're not going to get the blue chip that you want. All right, so here's a tweet today from Mr. Streets. He says, he retweeted this here. I'm going to read it out to you guys. BNO News. Russia will accept bitcoins for oil and gas, senior lawmaker says. So again, Russia says, okay, it's okay, we don't take in the fiat, our ruble is down. Let's go ahead and accept cryptocurrency, where the value can go up and down. And no matter the cost, if they are accepting digital currencies, the value of the cryptocurrency they know it's going to go skyrocket. Again, with Dogelon Mars. Family, a lot of major billionaires, a lot of very intelligent scientists, and also doctors. David St. Clair. Family, longevity is going to be the wave. It's not in the media yet, but it's going to be a sleeper where you least expect it. So guys, stay tuned. Watch this end of the video. It's great information that you guys need to know and hear, and let it marinate and understand when you're holding this digital asset, it is a new financial wealth asset, family. A lot of you guys, again, I'm going to say it again, you are going to become wealthy. You're going to become wealthy. Choose wisely of what you pick in digital currencies.
How Russia and Ukraine is affecting us, and cryptocurrency, right? And we see that Joe Biden is talking about regulating cryptocurrency. This week we'll see something. So what does that mean?
I mean, it can really mean a multitude of different things depending on what kind of policy you lay out. Right now, we know that they're trying to do the CBDC coin. They got the government back one, but they're trying to figure out how to do it because it's really complex right now. That if they roll it out the wrong way and they give themselves the power to destroy money rather than just create money, then you can also see things where they have bank runs where people decide to take their money out, and then the people have more control over monetary policy than the government. So they're trying to figure out how to create it in the best way where also it's unhackable, because what's going on with Russia and Ukraine and everything, it's a different type of war. It's an economic and a currency war that's going on. And that's dangerous for a multitude of different reasons. It's the reason why Russia decided to invest in Bitcoin before everything happened. And they can't touch Putin's finances right now because he got them layered and secured behind many different invisible walls. And right now, I think the more dangerous thing for people to focus on is understanding how to diversify the assets. You understand me? It's like, if you got your money in crypto and it's down right now, you still want to diversify in gold. You still want to have your money in different commodities because the weed and the oil and everything else is rising right now. And so, you know, we got a mental myopia where we only think short term. But in the long term, it's going to affect us even worse because we're already behind the 8 ball so far. So when it comes to crypto, you know, if you're going to invest in it, you want to either get at the best prices, which is when it really drops to the lowest, and think from a long-term standpoint. The daily trading, that works for people who are very professional. They understand the technical analysis of it all, and then they can get in and out of that market and be able to make some money. But in the short term, a lot of people go lose a lot of money. You understand me? Trying to play it and trying to catch and guess what prices are the best ones to get in, when they really should be finding less volatile things to invest in, because you're not going to know how long this thing will play out. You understand me? And so with this new currency war, it's creating a completely new global landscape of what money is. Like, that's the whole thing about what is money, right? That's why NFTs are going up in value and cryptocurrency is fluctuating, and they're trying to figure out what's going to be the best hedge right now. But the only hedge right now is diversification. You know, you can't guess what's going to be the best. You have you have to invest in it all.
I want to ask you about the Joe Biden executive order and what does that stand for?
Central bank digital coin.
Yes. So does that mean it's going to be one form of cryptocurrency?
Well, that means that the banks, so right now they already have central bank digital coins, and I think in Nigeria, I think it's in Bermuda, right, in 2020. So basically the government is issuing their own coin. The only thing is it's not going to be backed by anything, right? Not even backed by paper currency, essentially. It's just a digital version of a coin. And Swiss Bank was the first bank that issued out banknotes, right? And they've already said by 2030 they go completely digital. Right, and it's the same thing that's happening in China. And interesting enough, China was the first bank or the first country to issue a currency that wasn't backed by anything. Besides, Genghis Khan's grandson, Kublai Khan, said that by the issue of death. Like, if you use it or you don't use it, you die. Basically, that's what it was backed by. And so China already, if you go over there, they almost basically completely digital. You understand me? So interesting enough, Swiss Bank and China are going to be some of the first countries that go completely digital. And so this country realizes that it's harder for them to police monetary policy to control money without them getting into the digital game. So whatever this policy is going to try to give the feds more power to be able to regulate, and then it's going to try to give the government more power to be able to tax, but also try not to stifle innovation, because America needs that money coming in right now. Because of everything that's happening right now, they got to think about so many different layers of how we control these issues. Because you got the security risk that goes into creating the CBDC coin as well. If it ever get hacked, that just destroys the economy. You understand me? And quantum resistant hacking is what they have to build in there. But what's dangerous for people, if you get the CBDC back coin, that is not transparent. Now it's a relationship between you and the bank. You understand me? But now both of y'all can see it, but then that same thing, they do KYC, where it's know your customer. But then they can also be biased and decide who doesn't get it and who does get it. So that's dangerous as well, because decentralization, the whole point of that was take the power out of the central bank hands.
Right.
But now it's putting the power back into their hands, and that's not good for the people.
But let me ask you a question. When we talk about everything going digital, does that help or does that hurt? Because, you got a lot of people that, cash businesses. You got a lot of people that don't put money in the bank. You got a lot of people that pay things in cash. But now it feels like it hurts more of us, our community, because more of the big communities, they know what they're doing. They can make money. They can flip it. They can put money here and not pay taxes on this, not pay taxes on that. But now you got the average person, the average Joe Blow that's making money for cash. How does that affect them if they can't use that cash?
I think, let me just add my 2 cents to that. I'll let you talk about that as well. I feel like us as a community, we have a bad habit of trying to swim upstream and fight against, a tidal wave that's coming. No matter how we feel about it, this is the future that we're headed into. So the only thing that we can really do is prepare ourselves. It's never going to be equal. We in America. We black in America. We started off with a 400-year disadvantage. We could never expect it to be an equal or fair system. Of course, we got so many disadvantages, but this technology has actually helped to empower a lot of people as well. And it could actually be used as a level to level the playing field as well. So I always try to look at things from a more optimistic standpoint as opposed to being a pessimist. Because, there's definitely going to be some disadvantages. But the good thing about it is that everything that's happening right now, and hopefully we can talk about NFTs and Web 3.0 and all that, this is a unique moment in history. And I was talking to 19 yesterday, and I'm like, this moment in history is so vital. And people need to understand it only happens like every couple of centuries.
Yeah, when currency changes.
Yeah, like we're in a window. It's a window in these next 5 years. If you can educate yourself and get ahead of the curve, you can really, be in the forefront of this thing. If not, you're going to be a digital slave. Yeah, like that's the new plantation. The digital plantation is not going to be a physical plantation anymore like it was 100, 200 years ago.
I use the analogy like if this was a plane that's taking off, right? This new asset class, like you said, doesn't happen very frequently. Our job as a community is to educate as much people as possible so we don't let that determine.
Some people are so resistant too. When you start talking about crypto, they're like, this is a scheme, this can't happen, this isn't going to work, people are trying to scam you.
Yeah, but that's just a lack of understanding.
Yeah, and people, some of it is, though.
There's a lot of people.
So there's a lot of scamming, but that's why education always comes first. Right. You know what I mean? Like safety first. Like even when I teach, the first thing is how to protect your money once you get in there. Because a lot of people like to jump forward without knowing anything because of FOMO. Like I feel like I'm missing out. There's money that I'm not getting right now, so let me just jump in there. So the first wave of education first is protecting, you understand me, and being risk adverse, right? But if we don't have an understanding, then we let our ignorance lead us. And then we start complaining about things like, I don't like that, but that's only because you don't understand it. Same thing with NFTs and crypto. The biggest thing is more so understanding what does the technology do, but we try to understand the technology itself, right? When most people don't understand their cell phone, right? But you know how to use it. So for me, the first thing I think about is how can I use this? And is there a use case for the solutions of the diaspora? And if there is, then of course I'm going to figure out ways that we can become strategic so that we can start implementing this in our business models and the way we start implementing solutions for our empire. Because I look at like, we are in the rise and the falling of the empires right now.
Absolutely.
Right? We got, Russia and China is figuring out ways to take over Western power, and Western power as a, not even growing in population size right now is a telltale sign of America's decline in power. And so they have to figure out multiple ways to be able to maintain power since that's what they've been in for so long. So, at that point, then we have to look at what are our opportunities right now. It's like when we first started teaching options give you the option that during the fall of America or the fall of the stock market, you can still make money on the come-up side rather than deciding to depend on the government to help you out. You understand me? So for me, when it comes to everything going digital, I don't want everything digital. Nah, I still want land. I still want gold, right? I still want to invest in art. I still want to diversify my assets because they keep saying by 2053 we're going to have none, but that report is basically saying that we won't own any assets. So for me, the quick fix is, well, let's own assets. What will be valuable in the future, not just what's valuable right now. And that's what we end up focusing on, what's valuable now. We invest in that. Then as that goes up and down, we continue to lose. But they can afford, because they like $10 trillion ahead of us, they can afford to be late on things we can't. We got to jump in or early, experiment, be strategic, be early innovators, and make sure that we get our wealth before things take over. Because if you go study Shenzhen, China, and what they did over there, they early innovators in tech sectors. They get an early education on what's going to be the most valuable. So when things rise up, then they win. So they create millionaires and billionaires easily. So we have to start adapting some wealth standards. That's one of the things that I teach is like, we don't have any standards towards wealth in our community whatsoever. Right? But if you study every single other race or group of people, they have standards towards wealth. Specifically, the East Asian, they're the highest grossing household income, fastest rather. So I want to study why, right? Family, education, getting into early sectors that matter. We get into education, but I always say digital education is the new Harvard, because even when you get an education, we're not the top sectors in engineers, which are the high-paying jobs, right? And then when we talk about the jobs that will be valuable in the future, it's the creative jobs, it's the coders, the designers, the Web3. But we're not getting into that enough. We get on the consumer side. So if we continue to do that, then we're going to be the ones that consistently have to beg other people for a job and try to vote our way into progress when we could work our way into it.
Brother Nantino, I want to ask you a question. You just sparked the question because you said about how China is mostly digital now, right? And when I look at this Russia-Ukraine war, I say to myself, none of this makes sense. It's got to be a larger play. China is the wild card. What do you think?
Well, the relationship between China and Russia, they continuously, over the years, you see them getting buddy-buddy. Because obviously China wants Taiwan, right? Yep. Russia wants Ukraine. In times of contraction, you think expansion, right? Number one, China has a lot of America's debt, right? And at the same time, that means that China doesn't just want America to fall, because the money that they have in America falls as well. And then the export into China by raising their dollar and their currency up will make it too expensive to be able to get exports from China. So they have to do everything super strategically first before they can just take over that power. But they've been wanting to take over that power since, you understand me, World War II, right? Especially Russia, seeing America rise in power like that. So we've been at war, whether it's a Cold War, hot war, however you want to call it. Right now, I believe China is already like the largest economy right now, right? They've already essentially won, and America's trying to get back in place, right? So America is fighting from the downside. And then Russia wants to be able to take over that whole entire space, but at the end of the day, I don't think that they 100% knew how strategic they was going to get with the economic war that they placed on them. But I'm sure that they have things in place like the moment that they decide that the Russians can't watch Netflix and can't bank with them, well, they're going to start doing partnerships with China, right? Strengthening that relationship. Well, let's bank over here. But that gives China more play than anybody, because they're the only ones that really have leverage over Russia and Putin right now. So that makes them the biggest power players, because they can decide the tide that this thing goes.
Yeah, that literally happens. So like we spoke about this last night. Visa, MasterCard, you see like this economic like ban that's happening with Russia. And we spoke about it kind of like, we saw MasterCard, they banned it in Russia, Visa banned it in Russia. The first country to step up and say, yo, you can use it here was China. So the Union Pay is now something that you can use inside of that country. So it's interesting, right? Like these little things that nobody's paying attention to is the big thing you should be paying attention to, right? Because it's like, all right, everybody's banning it, everybody's like trying to support it. It's like, all right, well, here's a country that's with the opposition. You can use this here. So like these are the things we got to pay attention to long term, because like you said, it gives more power to a country that is now and was on pace to be the largest economy in the world.
And I think we got to start thinking more, like, I'm glad we're having this conversation on more of a geopolitical landscape. It's like a lot of times we just so focused on our day-to-day lives that, we don't really care too much about stuff that goes on in our neighborhood outside of that. But,
our day-to-day lives are impacted by what's happening.
It's extremely important. And it's like even Russia and China, like they don't necessarily have the best relationship. Like they've had kind of a rocky relationship, but it's the old adage, like, an enemy to my enemy is my friend. So they look at it like, okay, this is an opportunity to actually work with, a country that could potentially, be a major threat to America, NATO, and Europe, and that's an opportunity for them, right? So if you look at China, it's very interesting because you're talking about the real estate play, like they've literally buying land all over the world. You go to the Caribbean, Africa, there's no place on America, there's no place on the world that China is not, dominating right now, right? So, it's a new age of imperialism where they're not like forcibly taking land, how, England did and how Europe did hundreds of years ago. But now they're doing it to a point where they're putting these countries in so much debt that, like in Jamaica, they own an airport. They put them in debt for like 50 years. They got to lease the airport back to them. And they doing that all over the world. So, it's extremely important for us to start thinking like this and looking at it from, a big picture, because what happens over here affects us over here, whether we, believe it or not. And we just can't be ignorant to world politics. And I feel like, America keeps you ignorant. And it make you focus on TikTok dances. They make you focus on rap beef. They make you focus on things that's not really important. And when you travel, you understand that these other countries, it doesn't matter how much money you make. They still tapped in. They still listening. Like I said, every Uber driver, I noticed that they didn't listen to one music.
Right, and systems that validate transactions.
And I'm glad you said that. And that was my biggest fear with cryptocurrency and NFTs, right?
Mm-hmm.
And in this game, people feel they taste the blood, right? They taste money. So people, a lot of times, they will pitch to our people what they think is good, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they'll do it in a bunch of different ways. They'll use influencers, they'll use celebrities, they'll use people that, here's a quick check, say this NFT is popping. Here's a quick check, say this cryptocurrency is popping. And my fear is our people who are trying to catch up, like we said in this interview, who don't necessarily know, and they try to Google, they try to read. It's not understandable because it's not something that they learn, and they wind up putting their money into these NFTs that are scams and these cryptocurrencies that are not worth anything, and now they have a problem. Now they just lost all their money that they don't have.
Right.
So break down NFTs, what NFTs are good, what NFTs are not, what if people want to invest in NFTs, which way they should go, where they should be looking,
Right.
and the same thing with cryptocurrency, because like I was saying the other day, the fact that right now EYL could be like, I got a cryptocurrency, it's called EYL currency.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can have a currency, 19 keys currency, Charlemagne Dogelon currency. But what matters? What's worth it? Because everybody, money scheme, you know what I mean? It's like, what's worth it?
Well, what is worth it? I mean, at the end of the day, when we talk about human beings and how we perceive value, like money is based on a belief system. You understand me? That a bunch of people believe it's valuable, so therefore it is, right? And a lot of these marketing schemes are based on supply and demand, right? Over-enthused marketing, get people in the community, throw them a bunch of tricks, hey, you're going to win 5,000 here, you're going to win a car here, you're going to win the Lambo here. All of them are all scams, first of all. Like, no business. Like, think about it, this is a business, and no business going to start off like that. I'm going to give you a Lambo if you buy into my product. That don't make sense.
Where's the first place people go to those scams?
Yeah, because, we operate through reward or punishment. If I see a bunch of people getting rewarded for something, that's how you start to prime human behavior. You understand me? It's called tokenomics when you talk about cryptocurrency, right? It was a psychologist by the name of B.F. Skinner, to where he wanted to figure out how he can tokenize human behavior. If you think about you getting a sticker for a test, you understand me? Then that makes you want increase those endorphins. So next time, I want that sticker, I'm gonna do good on that test. Or you do something last minute where it's like, damn, well, I know the reward that if I actually do this homework in the next 2 hours, then the reward is I get finished. I don't get my ass whooped by my parents or something. So therefore, I'm gonna do it.